this is Brandon Moon with Moonlit Fly Fishing. I want to welcome you to Fly Tying Night tonight. Tonight we're going to be tying up the new Electro Pulse Nymph pattern. This is a really cool pattern. We call it the Pulse because of the pine squirrel collar on this. It's going to add a really awesome pulsating effect to this fly and pattern, which triggers a lot of strikes from the fish. With that, I want to make sure and invite you to like the video. Make sure you leave us a comment, hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive future notifications. If you receive any value out of the video or any of our videos, we greatly appreciate you doing this to show your support and help us reach more people as we're trying to grow our channel and content. So with that, I'm going to start my thread on the Moonlit Tagata Premium Barbless hook, the ML501 in a size 14. I have a 3.0 millimeter metallic purple bead and Semperfly Classic Wax 12-aught purple thread. I'm going to take some dark dun Coke de Leon for my tail. You can tie this without a tail. I want the tail to be roughly about the length of the hook shank. So we'll tie that in. Back here at the back. And I always try and tie it in a little long, so if I need to adjust it, I can adjust it. I'm going to shrink that up just a little bit. Now I'll just take and finish securing that down going forward. And we'll wrap and secure that down almost all the way up. Then I'm just going to take scissors and trim that Coke de Leon out. Just wrap that up to the bead. Now I'm going to take some ice blue tying wire from Semperfly in the 0.2 millimeter. I've also done this in the deep purple. I just really like the effectiveness and contrast to the blue. And I'm just going to tie that in on the top and wrap that back. I'm kind of going to hold that wire up just a little bit so that it helps create a nice, smooth, and even thread base for my body. We'll wrap this all the way back to the back. I'm going to take my thread and go underneath that tail 2 times, and that's just going to help prop that up. Now it's time for the body, and the body material is a purple wild barred turkey biot from Magpie. My absolute favorite biots. And there's a ridge on one side and then a somewhat translucent side on the other. I'm going to tie this in with the ridge side facing down at a little bit of an angle so that it helps me when I go to wrap. We'll just secure that down, wrap that all the way forward and tie it in. Sometimes I have to clip that off. This time I don't, to trim it out. Now because I like a nicely tapered body, I'm going to create a little bit of a taper with my thread moving back and forth. Takes a little extra time, but to me, aesthetically, it makes it a nicer looking fly, and to me, it matters more to me than it does the fish, and that's okay. I don't just tie my flies for the fish, I tie them for myself as well. Now I'm just going to take and half hitch this off there and set it off to the side. And take my Loon ergonomical hackle pliers. I'm going to grab that turkey biot. Now I want the ridge side of this biot facing the back side of the hook. And then I'm just going to wrap this with some open-ended wraps. It's going to create the spacing and the segmentation on this fly. I'm going to wrap that all the way up into the bead of the hook and tie that off. Over the top and then in front, over the top and in front's just going to lock that in. I like to set my thread off to the side on my thread bobbin so that I make sure when I trim this out I don't snip my thread, because I've been known to do that and I don't like to have to start over on that. Now I'll just take and half hitch again just so that I can use my rotary feature. Now I'm going to start this without the rotary feature. And I'm going to I've got a magnifying light here, so I'm just going to kind of angle that down just so that I can see a little bit better as I'm wrapping this wire in between that biot. And this wire ribbing inside of that biot is going to make this fly more durable, add a little bit of extra weight to it, but really make this fly kind of have a nice pop in the segmentation of the body. A lot of times these flies, these nymph patterns, nymphs in the water have a little bit of a translucency to it, and I kind of like the little difference of the segmentation and translucent effect of the wire there. Now I'm going to take some Purple Haze Club Dub from Snake River Fly. That's this stuff right here. That's like enough for like probably 3 of these. I'm going to take and dub this on to create a nice thorax. And the thorax is going to be roughly about that last quarter of this, and it's going to help create a little bit of a push to flare out my pine squirrel. You can see there's a couple longer fibers. I like a few long fibers, but I want to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to take my thread and create a little loop, not very big, just a real small one. We'll wrap over the front, back behind, in front, and behind again. Alright, now I'm going to grab my little twist dubbing loop tool. I'll half hitch one more time here. Set that off to the side. I've got 1/16 inch pine squirrel. This is a purple. If I'm tying olive, I'll change to an olive. I'll use the rust brown. Natural colors for my yellows and so forth, and this is just going to give me a nice flow and effect to my fly. I'm going to take a little bit of dubbing wax. The Overton's is awesome, and I'm just going to put a little bit on there. So this tool's got a spring on it that's going to open that up, which is why I like it. So now I'm going to take my small little strip here. I'm going to open that up. Now I'm going to slide that up in there, And I'm going to gauge how long I want that for the size that I'm using. Okay, now I'm going to pull that up. Trim that out. Kind of level that in there. Now I'm going to take these longer guard fibers. Now I'm going to pull and preen them out real quick. Now I'm just going to spin this dubbing twister. Love it, spins super easy. Now I'm going to take my rotary feature and start wrapping this. I'll preen those pine squirrel fibers rearward just so that they get that nice rearward effect. I'll use my dubbing loop to help kind of secure and push those back. Now we're just going to secure this off. Hold those hair fibers back and just create a little bit of a collar on this. Now I'm going to take and whip finish. 1, 2, 3. We'll do it 2 more times. 1 and 2. Trim that out. Now I'm going to take and rotate this so that I can trim out that dubbing loop and clean that up there. This fly is done. You could put head cement on there, or you can take some UV glue and put some UV glue on there, some hard as nails. Either one of those is going to work great. I actually like to use the Solares, and I'm just going to put a small amount of the thin hard on here. Take my bodkin. This is going to do 2 different things. It's going to help protect my bead just a little bit, and it's going to secure that knot. Give it a nice little shine to it. Now I'll just take my light, cure that up. And there you have the Electro Pulse Nymph. This is a great little pattern. Tie this in a variety of sizes, different colors with different wire, different biot bodies, beads, and pine squirrel to give you a bunch of different patterns. But this is going to give you a nice pulsating effect with the pine squirrel fibers. It's nice and buggy, real natural, real awesome. Going to catch some air bubbles in there as well. So with that, if you find any value in this video or any of our other videos, please make sure that you like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive future notification. We appreciate your support and look forward to tying with you again next time. Have a great evening.